proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
The Guaranteed Rate Elite at Lake Fork is sponsored by Ranger Boats, Yamaha, Toyota, and by Berkeley.
Legendary Lake Fork is our location here in beautiful Quitman, Texas, East Texas to be precise. And what a showdown we've had here this week. Brandon Carr trying to chase down his first ever Elite Series victory. And man, does he have a good record in these Texas events. Almost took a title here just a few years ago, and Craig Hackney edged him out this time. But right now, he's got a 10-pound lead on our day one leader, Patrick Walters, with 55 pounds, 7 ounces. And as I mentioned, Patrick Walters sitting in second with 45 pounds even. Seth Feider, our Angler of the Year leader, coming into this event in third. And here comes Chad Morgenthaler with 42 pounds even. Every single time we come here to beautiful Quitman, Texas, Lake Fork shows out. And once again, it did in a big, big way on day number one. And even with impending weather, it is continuing to deliver here today. This is your Toyota Midday Report. And what way do you want to start a Toyota Midday Report? No better way than with the Zaldangerous one, Chris Zaldain. A two-time Bassmaster winner, Chris Zaldain, famous and infamous for big fish, big baits, and he is delivering once again here on legendary Lake Fork.
Dave Mercer, you're exactly correct. Zaldain doing what he does best, throwing a big swim bait. I know he was excited, circled this event on the calendar when it came into the year, wanting some redemption. Been so close before, and you're right, he's starting off with a great morning so far. Not the biggest ones, but getting some bites early with the big swim bait.
Big bites have paid off for Zaldain in a big way on this very fishery. Took a Toyota Tundra just a few years ago. But look out for this guy, Quentin Capo. He has had a sleepy Elite Series career up to this point. Been waiting for that breakout event, and we might just see it.
Quentin with a couple good fish. He came into the day second place overall, 28 pounds, a career day yesterday for him. Just fishing within sight this morning of Chris Zaldain. It's obviously a good thing when you show up to your spot and two anglers in the top 6 are there, but it's also a bad thing that you have to share fish with one of the top contenders as well.
Splitting fish, always a tough deal on this 27,000 acre impoundment. I mean, an incredible fishery, and that's what makes it so incredible, Ronnie. Time after time, the amount of pressure that Lake Fork gets, and it always delivers. But here's one of the founding fathers of this event. If you go back 15 years ago and you look at the TTBC, one of the guys involved with it was Chad Morgenthaler, so only fitting that Chad Morgenthaler is in the mix this time around.
That's 100% correct. And it's very interesting. We've seen 3 anglers so far for the Toyota Midday Report. Chris Zaldain, Quentin Capo, and Chad Morgenthaler, all relying on different baits and techniques, but still having very similar weights at the top of the leaderboard.
Chad Morgenthaler, a longtime Bassmaster pro, and an Elite Series victory has eluded him. He's tasted victory in the Opens. He's tasted victory just about everywhere but on the Elite Series, and man, how fitting would it be to get it done here on Lake Fork. But the one thing I've learned after over a decade of covering events on this body of water, just when you think you got it, that's when it slips from your hands. A lot of fishing left to go. But Chad Morgenthaler has having a good day, and as I talked about it, a guy who made a little slip, a guy who literally was anointed. If you went on any social media platform yesterday, they already gave him the trophy.
And we've seen that. We rely and think highly of Patrick Walters that he's not going to fall off. But we've said the same thing after 2 days of fishing in 2019 with Chad Pipkins. 2 30-pound days, a big lead going into the cut day, and then dropping off the map. Not that Patrick's done that, but he has leaned on this 8-12 right here. It has carried him. Only 3 fish today for 12 pounds and change. he's definitely going to have to make an adjustment. But Dave, he said this wasn't even his primary deal. He didn't even want to do it, and yesterday it worked so well, that's all he did. So he does have some other things up his sleeve that we're going to be able to see him adjust on, and maybe that'll come to fruition this afternoon.
Well, you can't count out Walters, that's for sure. But let's jump over to Brandon Card. Card, also a guy chasing down his first Elite Series title, multiple seconds. But man, Texas Fisheries set up well for Brandon Card. Got a really good track record on these big bite bodies of water.
You mentioned it at the start of the Toyota Midday Report. His second at Texoma just a couple years ago during this very event to Greg Hagney. So close to winning that, coming from 6th place on the final day. But he also has a great track record on this specific lake, as he was one of the guys in the top 10 in 2019 when Brandon Cobb took the title. Card fished deeper than most and had much more success offshore than many expected. And this week, doing something very similar, just a little bit shallower.
Started off his week in a bizarre way. I mean, he's staying at Gary Yamamoto's lodge, and his wife caught her personal best. And the dog, Brandon, everybody was extremely excited, except for maybe his wife, Ronnie.
Exactly. He kind of rebuked her for not wanting to hold her personal best. But it was a great fish catch, an interesting landing. But it's good to see the Cards having fun in Texas. And obviously, day 2, he's having a lot of fun with 28 pounds and an ounce for a limit and roughly a 10-pound lead at the midway point in day 2 over 2nd place, Patrick Walker.
No need to live in the past. This is Bass Live, so let's get live to Brandon Card.
We're back to the swim bait. Yeah, so basically, started on the hammer hole. I'm going to call it the hammer hole because I caught a ton of fish here yesterday and then pulled up. It was kind of slow at first, and then I saw a few fish bust up shallower, so I kind of drifted up there and picked up a jerk bait, which I hadn't even been throwing. Threw it over there, and obviously caught some good ones there. And then that just kind of proceeded into, I guess they, moved from the point back to where I was catching them, because now, I'm back here throwing pretty much at the exact same spot I was catching them at yesterday, which is out off the point a little ways, and I'm catching them again back out here. So I almost think that those fish were up there doing a shad spawn deal, feeding on the shad this morning, and then when the shad spawn dies off, then I think they just kind of gravitate back out here a little bit deeper. So, like I said, Yozuri 30B jerk bait, 110 this morning. That was the deal. And then, now I'm throwing this hand poured swim bait that my buddy Brian makes, Brian McGill. And just trying to catch a few more big ones. I've got a lot of quality, a lot of 4 to 6.5, or actually almost 7 pounds, 4 to 7 pounds. But if I can get a few more, big fish, that'll really take my bag. I think I got 28 something, so that'll take it, to the lower 30s mark, which is kind of the goal. I like to catch low 30s. Actually, I'd like to catch 40, but I'll take anywhere from 30 to 50, let's just say that. No, it's been a blessed morning though. The Lord has definitely blessed me with this spot. I found it the final day of practice. I didn't know it was going to be this special of a spot, really. I caught a couple just average fish here and left. I threw in there like 2 or 3 times and I left. But yeah, I got some other places, but this is definitely the best one of the bunch that I have.
Card talking about 40-pound bag, and one of the startling things, if you look at our day 1 leader, I mean, just moments ago, I think he put his 8th fish in the boat. But for most of this morning, he had 7 fish and was at 43 pounds and had just at that point surpassed Keith Combs's day 1 weight on 2014 when he had 42 pounds. That just gives you an idea of just how big those bass are. And speaking of big bass, the Sleepy Assassin, don't sleep on him.
Tell me some good news. Now we're talking.
5-3.
5-3.
Yeah, baby.
Boom. We good?
Yep.
This is just such an interesting event already. We had anglers thinking possibly Dean Rojas's 45-pound single-day record could fall this week to sight fish with how big the big ones were up shallow. And then we've seen guys catching them cranking, jerkbait, swim bait, finesse tactics, so many things other than sight fish that this event has kept us on our toes a day and a half in when Quentin Capo hooked up.
Got him. Doesn't feel like much to him. I think he'll keep. Maybe not. I'm gonna try him. Get your board. Yep. 14. We'll take anything we can get today. 1-3.
Let's split it. 1-4.
On Lake Fork, those ones better have a 0 after them if you want them to count in this tournament.
Now we're going to work our way up shallow a little bit, maybe some sight fish. And the conditions today, Dave, not ideal, but Austin Felix hooked up. Not ideal for the bed fishermen, but tomorrow, Sunday, that could be much better for a Felix and a Morgan Taylor, primarily living up shallow.
Yeah, really, it seems like this could play out the opposite of a traditional sight fishing tournament. When you look at most sight fishing tournaments, Florida events, that sort of thing, guys kind of blister them the first couple of days, and then we get into the weekend and they play small ball to hold on, and that's the question, they can hold on. With what our weather card has dealt us, this could be fireworks come semifinal Saturday and championship Sunday here on Lake Fork.
You having fun? I got 4 also. And one of them is a 1-pounder.
A lot of conditions have changed, not only today with the cloud cover and the storms coming in, shortening the day of fishing, but the 2 days leading up to the start of this event, Tuesday and Wednesday, they experienced pretty cold temperatures from what they were expecting. We had a really cold weather in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas earlier this year.
As you can see, tough conditions.
Yep.
Nobody's
How
catching
about
them.
that one, folks, on the big jig? I do believe that one's going to help. Yeah. That's why you fish the big jig right there.
We are 0. Oh yeah. 314.
Yeah, I'll go that.
You see, I mean, this is humiliating, Ronnie. As a guy who hosts a fishing show, these guys are doing a better job of a fishing show live than I do in an edited version.
Chill out. Whoa, they're so dang strong. And there's so many trees.
Definitely a window of opportunity is open for the 2 shallow anglers of our 6 on camera today.
Come here. I got you. Oh, falling over.
That's 5.
We got 5.
Scared of the
What's he got, 3.5 or so? Oh no. Come on. Come on. Well, he went down in like 315?
15.
315.
That's all we can get out of it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
As you see, all the fish weighed, recorded, and released here in this tournament. That's exactly why that whole system was designed here on Lake Fork 15 years ago, just so they could have a pro-level event here on this incredible, incredible fishery. Legendary Lake Fork, and atop of the leaderboard, Brandon Card with 55 pounds, 7 ounces. This is stop number 5 of the Bassmaster Elite Series. Day number 2 at the guaranteed rate Bassmaster Elite at Lake Fork.
The Yamaha VMAX V6 SHO continues to deliver the level of performance that pro bass and multi-species anglers demand.